Hey, you guys. So I have shared that y'all are also getting me first thing in the morning, so don't judge. Lakita, go. I have shared with you guys that much has shifted in my life. And if you followed my page for very long, you have actually seen me go through a few different shifts. Um, some big ones, some small ones, some minor ones, some major ones. But I wanted to kind of put this out there so that there's not any misconception from folks who reach out to me. Now, you and I may be neighbors, so you might not realize that my inbox stays jam packed full of people who will see a post and they'll want to talk more about it. Or I'll be vulnerable about something and they will want to talk about pain in their own life. Or I'll share a video about a topic and they will reach out and say, hey, me too. So it's not one or two people a day. Typically, in the past, I tried to get to every one of those messages every single day, and I realized that I was killing myself and I was taking time away from my family. Now, hear me clearly. I'm not saying to stop sending those messages by any means. My point for saying that is nowadays, I get to them when I can, right? Remember, this is coming not because it's my job or that I get paid. It's coming because it's who I am. And I find that balance between family, CrossFit, friends, and Facebook, right? So, like I said, you may not realize that a lot of conversations that I have with a lot of people happen in inbox. And those happen in late night phone calls. And those happen in late night meetings where somebody needs something. And I do my best to be able to get over and visit. And I'm down to me and Libby at the house. Y'all know I have 7 kids. So right now, Libby has got a little boo-boo on her leg, which means that I can't just pick her up and throw her in the car and take off and go help somebody, right? And she needs to rest. And I don't have adult children here any longer that can just watch her. And so that means a lot of my, hey, can you come, has slowed down significantly. But more than that, here's what I want you to hear. More than not being able to rush out and help folks like I used to be able to whenever my adult children were here and they could keep an eye on her. This is what I want you to hear because it is very important. I might have been your person in the past. I might have, when I was like, grace, mercy, sweet, kind, feel good conversations, always positive, never really pushing the envelope on the real issue. I might have been your person back then, okay? But in the last 2 months, so much has shifted in my life that I've grown by leaps and bounds. And guess what? Guess what I learned? I learned that some of these conversations, it's impossible for them to be easy. It's impossible to say the things that need to be said in any other way except for just saying them, okay? In the past, I was driven a lot by wanting to be liked and wanting to have a lot of followers, right? Because, you got 5,000 friends, and then you can have as many followers as Facebook possible, as humanity, okay? That used to really drive me, and now it doesn't. I'm working on D, E, and F today, clearing out folks I haven't heard from in forever, clearing out inactive accounts, and literally going to make my way through all the way to Z. And remember, my page is public, so even if we get disconnected in a year from now, you realize that, and you're like, hey, what happened? All my stuff's public, so you can still see it. But more than that, I've also changed. And I've had 2 conversations now with people that I used to interact with in a completely different way. It was very, I guess you could say, coddling, dancing around my words as not to hurt their feelings, that I have really upset. And that has definitely not been my goal. But I'll tell you now, guys, some of the darkness, or I don't believe in demons, but we'll call them demons because a ton of my friends list actually believes in hell and Satan and demons and all that. I just don't, but we'll use demons so that it can make sense. Some of the demons from the last couple months, hell, the last 42 years, I've had little demons in my life and darkness that I've had to navigate and learn how to avoid, go head to head with, whatever. And a lot of those are no longer an issue. And so I'm not living bound, and my mouth is also not bound, and my heart and my spirit is not bound. So what that means is, in the past, maybe let's go crazy with it so it makes sense, okay? Obviously, I don't know anybody who likes to stand in the middle of the road, but I'm using it as an example. Maybe you're somebody who knows how dangerous it is to stand in the middle of the road. Maybe you know that it could take your life standing in the middle of the road. In the past, I might be like, hey, Joe, why don't you come out of the middle of the road? Hey, Joe, maybe today's not the best day to stand in the middle of the road. Hey, Joe, there's a diesel coming. I love you. You matter. Come out of the middle of the road. Hey, Joe, I'll come stand in the middle of the road with you and try to encourage you to get out of the middle of the road. That's what old Jen might have done. Now Jen is going to say, Joe, I love you very much. You're in the middle of the road. There's a diesel coming, Joe, that I love very much. If you don't move out of the middle of the road, it's going to run over you, and it's going to squish you all over the pavement. And your friends and your family and all your acquaintances are going to know that you like to stand in the middle of the road, and now you're in the grave, but it's because you continue to stand in the middle of the road. I'd really, really hope you choose to come out of the middle of the road. But Joe, I'm not going to come stand in the middle of the road with you every single day and try to get you to come out of the middle of the road. At some point, Joe, you're going to have to take responsibility for your own actions. I love you very much, and yes, you matter. Come out of the road. Do you see what I'm talking about? There have been things in my life that honestly, could have taken my freaking life. And it took me a very long time to be able to truly beat the crap out of those demons. Just beat the hell out of them and reclaim my life. And I will be damned if I empower anyone else ever again. There are lots and lots and lots of people out there who will do that for you. It's not gonna be me any longer. And if I lose friends, or I lose followers, or I lose likes or loves, I could care less. I am here to shine light in the middle of your darkness. And I may not be the person for you any longer to enable you, encourage you, or help you hold yourself to your demons. I am here to shine light so you can climb out of your darkness. And if that pisses you off, if that makes you want to talk bad about me, if that makes you hate me or avoid me in public, that is okay. But guess what? When I come to your funeral, I will not stand beside your casket and say, I did everything I could do. I won't do it. I'll come, I'll grieve, I'll love on your family, and I will leave knowing that I told you the truth, that I did it in love, that it wasn't easy to hear, and I will not walk away guilty that I could have done more. I love you so much. You do matter so much. But some of this stuff that's circling in your life, it's not all right. And it does take time to get out of it. But Joe, he's got about 35 seconds to get out of the middle of the road, or else his life is over. And I dare say there's some of you guys that have been playing, and not playing in a fun sense, but playing in the middle of this stuff, thinking you'll change another day, thinking you'll ditch it another day. And I just want to tell you, if I'm not your person, it's okay. If you can handle the truth, you can't handle the truth. Sorry to throw that in there. I love that movie. If you cannot handle the truth, I know for sure I'm not your person. If you can, stick around, because I'm going to tell it. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I hope that everything that's in your path is not seen as a hassle, but as an obstacle, a challenge that is set there so that you can grow stronger and your warrior girl and your warrior boy can freaking manifest. We've spent too long in the bed. We've spent too long asleep. We've spent too long making jokes about stuff that's serious. We've spent too long living mediocre lives. We've spent too long in obese bodies. We've spent too long in super frail bodies because we ain't eating, not doing what we need to do to be able to build muscle. We've spent too long living in lack, and it's high time we rise. Love you guys. Word.